I'm Mr. Perry. You're here at Garden City Elementary in second grade. We are doing the life cycle of a butterfly, and we're here with Mr. Crosslin.
Hey, thanks for that introduction. I'm really excited here in second grade because we're studying today and for the next couple weeks these things that, what are they? A what?
Life cycle.
A life cycle. Now, if there's two of them like this, do we call it a life bicycle? No. But a cycle goes like a wheel goes around and around, right?
Yeah.
So here's my question. If you start, let's think like a chicken. A chicken comes from an egg, right?
Yeah.
And it grows up to a chicken and then an egg. Which came first? The chicken or the egg?
Egg.
Wait a minute, did you say the egg?
Yes.
Where'd the egg come from?
The
The chicken. Wait a minute, where'd the chicken come from?
egg.
Wait, I'm getting confused. Where'd the egg come from?
The chicken.
Well, which is it? Which came first? The chicken. All right, so we don't know which came first, but we do know that it is a cycle that starts, grows, develops, reproduces, and dies. But the next generation comes on. So our life cycle is kind of like this. Maybe you understand what I mean. Instead of this, it's more like this. Every generation moves on down. So you've been studying, may I see your inquiry packet right there? You've been studying, yes. What is the life cycle of a butterfly? And you've been reading about it, and you have been drawing pictures about it. This is some interesting pictures. And today, we're going to do two things. We're going to make a model. Scientists use models to help understand life cycles. And we're going to start our actual living butterfly life cycle. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's take a closer look. So, I have a book, and you might not think it's a science book, but it is. This book, and it's your job to figure out what parts are fiction and what parts are nonfiction, okay? You got that? And the book is called The Very Hungry Larva. The Very Hungry Larva. We could use caterpillar. Another name for it is larva. Okay, so I'll tell you, let's start with this. It's by a guy named Eric Carle. Okay, and sit down in your pockets, everybody can see. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. Is that fiction or nonfiction?
Nonfiction.
That's true, because a butterfly, to start a life cycle, will lay an egg on a leaf. Why on a leaf? Why not on the bark, on the ground, on a rock? What do you think?
Because then predators might eat them.
Predators might eat them. Why else? Yes.
People don't step on it.
People don't step on it. What else? Why on a leaf?
Because if it lands on the leaves, nothing can touch it.
Maybe nothing can touch it. That is true. They lay them on a leaf. I'll tell you a story. I was down in the Amazon River and looking for fish and butterflies, and I saw this butterfly flying, and I looked it up, and I said, wow, it's a beautiful butterfly. And it says it lays one yellow egg on a leaf, just like the book said here. And I looked at this tree with all these leaves, and I saw a yellow dot on each leaf. And I looked carefully, and it wasn't an egg. That tree had made a yellow dot grow somehow on the leaf. So the butterfly flew by and saw that yellow dot and thought, what do you think it thought? It was already an egg there. I'm not going to lay my egg there, and it flew off. You see, when a caterpillar or an egg, when an egg hatches out, it turns into a larva, and the first thing it does is it eats its eggshell, and then what does it start eating? The leaf. Now, if you're a tree, do you want all your leaves eaten up?
No.
So isn't that an amazing adaptation that that tree somehow found a way to have a yellow dot on its leaf. So the butterfly flies by and goes, oh, someone's already laid an egg there. But did they? No. That to me was an amazing thing for me to see. So this butterfly laid one egg on a green leaf. On Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop! Out of the egg came a very tiny and very hungry larva. He was hungry and he was little. In fact, right here, and you'll look at him later, here are some very hungry larvae of a butterfly called the painted lady. I'll show you those up close later. And they are growing and growing. And they are very hungry. And they started off as a little dot. And when they get a little bit bigger, we're going to divide them up. And after the egg comes...
The butterfly.
Not yet. Not yet. Let's see what this guy does. So, he started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. Fiction or nonfiction? I will decide. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. Fiction or nonfiction? Yeah, that's interesting. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still very hungry. And on Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry.
Oh my God.
And he was getting bigger too. And on Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, and he was still hungry. I'm starting to think this might be fiction because maybe he should just stick to green leaves. I don't know. But look what happened. Oh my goodness. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, a piece of cherry pie, a sausage, a cupcake, and a slice of watermelon. Definitely fiction. Oh my goodness. But guess what?
He's fat.
He's getting fatter. The next day he was Sunday again, and the caterpillar ate through, because that night he went home with a stomachache. But the next day he ate a nice green leaf, and after that he felt much better. Maybe the caterpillar larva better stick to eating green leaves, but guess what?
And then
Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. Larva. Thank you. Now, take a look at this guy. He's got 4 choices for a life cycle when he's a caterpillar like this, big and fat. Number 1 choice, he becomes prey. A bird comes by, oh, look at that big juicy. His life cycle is over. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
A bird sees a big fat caterpillar, it's part of the food chain. So a caterpillar, there might be hundreds of them. Not all of them are going to make it. Some of them are going to be eaten and be part of the food chain of birds or lizards or other animals because they're big and fat and juicy. That's one thing the caterpillar larva can do. Number 2, what do you call it when they blend in? Their color is just like the... Yeah, what do you call that?
We call it...
What do you call it? Anybody? Everybody?
Metamorphosis?
No, when he blends in with his background, you can't hardly see him. What do you call it?
You call it sheds?
No, not when he sheds, but when he blends in like another animal blends in. What's it called? What? Camouflage. If he was camouflaged, stayed on green leaves, the bird might not see him. So he could be eaten. He could hide with camouflage. Here's a third thing he could do, and this is pretty amazing. Some caterpillars look like other animals. I went to pick up this caterpillar one time, and it flipped its head and had these big eyes, and I thought, was that a snake? See, he was copycat pretending to be a snake. We call that mimicry. Can you say mimicry?
Mimicry.
So this caterpillar can be eaten, he can be camouflaged, or he can look like something dangerous. The last thing he can do, bright colors like this usually tell other animals, hey, I'm big, I'm bad, I'm poisonous, don't eat me. So some animals have like yellow and black, like a wasp, a yellow jacket,
Or a bee.
or a bee. Those colors say, hey, I might be trouble, stay away. Some snakes, red on black, friended Jack, red on yellow, kill a fellow. There's a coral snake. So you want to look out. So he has 4 choices: be eaten, camouflage, mimicry, or have colors that say, leave me alone. But eventually, out of the back of him comes some silk, some thread. He spins it, and he goes to his 3rd stage.
A pupa.
A pupa.
Pupa. Very good. Now there's other names for it. What is it? You've been doing your work. The stage is called pupa, and there's also chrysalis and cocoon. He said he built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside it for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon and pushed his way out. And his life cycle is about to change into an adult butterfly. Very cool. Let me show you something else. Okay, so I brought some things, some other examples. This would be, what do you think? Egg. There's an egg. And what comes next?
A caterpillar.
Or hold that, please. Hold that, please. Okay. And this is, check it out. What is that?
Which means a larva.
A larva. But let me show you something. This is the part I was talking about. He could either be eaten or camouflaged if he was against something black, right? Or, which this could be, don't be scared. Are you ready? Go ahead and touch him. Watch out. Look at
He got scared.
See the big eyes right there?
Yeah.
See, this one has eyes that makes it look like it's a big snake. But it's not really, is it? No. So now we have the egg and we have the larva. Hold the larva. Thank you. What comes next? The chrysalis or cocoon of pupa. And he goes inside of here, and that's where that metamorphosis takes place, a big change.
He turns into a liquid inside.
It's almost amazing what happens. And you'll see him move, and eventually he will emerge, or she will emerge, here, hold this, as this one right here. Look, an adult butterfly. Now, this has the same parts of most insects. Let's take a look at the parts. It has 3 body parts. It has a head, thorax, and abdomen. You know about these?
Yeah.
So this part's called the what? The head?
Thorax, and abdomen.
Now, an insect comes from a word entomology, which means in sections. So insects have sections or segments. Even its legs. All true bugs have 6 legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Has 3 body parts, antenna, usually 2 sets of wings. And even like a beetle has wings. It has hard cover and then wings underneath. Let me show you something that a butterfly does to scare off predators. It could be the color orange and black. So it kind of says, hey, I'm poisonous. There's a butterfly called the monarch. You heard about the monarch?
Yeah.
It's orange and black, and other birds go, oh, that's really orange and black, probably tastes bitter, don't eat it. But there's another butterfly called the viceroy, and it looks almost like a monarch, but it's not poisonous, but other birds don't eat it. You know why?
Because there's
Yeah,
It looks better.
it looks like a monarch. But let me show you here's what a butterfly will do. It has wings on it like this. Watch this. So here's our butterfly, right? Now it has wings on it, and it sits on a tree. If a bird lands, it might do this. Ready? Watch. Shoot. And when it opens up, it has eye spots. And now it looks like a big owl. So here's the butterfly. Quiet. A bird lands, and the butterfly goes, I'm going to see if I look like a owl. And it'll go like this. Ready? Shoot. And you'll see these eye spots. Let's try it. Everybody put your hand like this. On the count of 3, a bird lands. The butterfly tries to scare it away with its eye spots. It mimics an owl. 1, 2, 3. Shoot. And that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right? Let's take a look at those. Let's look at one other thing. Let's see. Here, let's pass those back. Let's pass those back.
Oh, there's a honey.
And let's see if we can. This is the life cycle of of a honeybee. In fact, these are they've been preserved in plastic, and so you see egg, larva, pupa, adult. Egg, larva, pupa, adult. And then you have like a queen, a worker bee, and you know bees make honey. There's some honey right there. That's real honey, real beeswax, real pollen from flowers. And this, so I'll pass that, but I got to show you one more thing. Those are real bugs, but before we do that, let me just go back to this butterfly. Ready? So here's what a butterfly does. It has a proboscis that's rolled up. See, a larva eats leaves. That's why some farmers don't like larva butterflies, because they eat the leaves and they might eat the crop. But a butterfly has this rolled up proboscis. It lands on a flower. Oh, I see a flower right here. What's your name?
Mackenzie.
I see a Mackenzie flower. And it's flying around. Now, when a butterfly lands on you, Mackenzie, it can taste you with its feet. It lands on Mackenzie and goes, oh, what a nice flower. So then it crawls down and starts drinking some of your nectar. And then it flies away. And Mackenzie says, ah, thanks, I needed that. Say that.
Thanks, I needed that.
So he flies off. He thinks he gets a free meal. But then he flies, what's your name?
Corey.
He flies to a Cory flower. He lands on a Cory flower, tastes him with his feet, walks down, and gets some nectar, the juice, and off he flies. And what do you say? Thanks, I needed that.
Thanks, I needed that.
Then he flies away. What's your name? He lands on a Carissa flower, and he goes, that tastes good. He goes down and gets some nectar. Now, and what does Carissa flower say?
Oh, thanks, I needed that.
Oh, thanks, I needed that. Now you might wonder, why did this butterfly get a free meal? See, it got free meal, but did the flowers get anything? What did the flowers get?
They got seeds to grow more flowers.
You are so right. Here's what happened. When he landed on you, he got covered in pollen from you. And then when he went to you, he spread the pollen to you. And he got more pollen and spread the pollen to you. So the flowers need a butterfly to spread the pollen, so the seeds can be made. You are so right. What else spreads pollen besides butterfly? Yes. Yes. A bee, or a bat, or what else?
A wasp.
Or a wasp, or an ant, or even the wind sometimes. And in the 4th grade, you're going to do a project with me where you will take a little paintbrush and you will take pollen from one flower and put it on the next and put it on the next. And you will then your plants will make seeds. So the butterfly plays a really important role in spreading pollen so the plants can have flowers and fruit. Without butterflies and bees, we would have no apples, oranges, nuts. The trees would not have seeds and we would not have crops. We need these. Let's take a look at something else. Okay, so I brought some special creatures here to show you guys. Stay seated and so everybody can see. And so here's one of them. This is a butterfly that we're studying. It's been preserved. I'll pass these around in just a minute. And here is, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the lady. Well, let's take a look at this Hercules beetle. Now it has 6 legs, 3 body parts, a head, a thorax, and abdomen. It has antenna. It has wings, a hard cover and wings underneath. A true bug, yes.
Spider. Go to spider.
Let's go to praying mantis.
I saw one of those. I seen a big one this long.
Some of them get really big, like a walking stick. It has 6 legs, 3 body parts. And
Spider.
okay, let's look at the spider.
Scary. It's not so scary.
The spider actually has 8 legs and only 2 main body parts. So that's not an insect. But I want to show you 2 more things that are kind of cool. Here is the life cycle of something.
Oh wow! Oh, there's
Now,
a little grasshopper.
Yeah, this is a grasshopper, and it starts as an egg, a larva, but it doesn't do a pupa. it does something different. It just kind of grows into what's called a nymph. So that's a little bit different than a butterfly. Very cool. But I brought something special to show you. And I'll tell you why. Let me close this up. This one is kind of amazing. It's a secret that was kept secret for 1,000 years. Look at this right here. This starts as eggs, larva, pupa, adult. This is called a silkworm. Have you heard of a silkworm before?
Yeah.
Well, look here. It lays its eggs. They hatch into larvae. They eat. They eat these leaves, and then it spins a cocoon. See this cocoon that's white right here?
Yeah.
In that cocoon, this was amazing. People went to China a long time ago, and they came back with this cloth. This cloth was so beautiful. You know what we call that cloth?
Oh. That cloth?
Yes. No.
A towel?
No.
It's so long. It's so soft. Whoa.
No, this is called silk.
Silk.
And it was the most fine material. Feel it with your hand. Silk.
So good.
Now,
Pass it back to me.
we'll pass it back. Hold on, let me see just for a second. Let me show you one thing about this silk. This silk is so thin that when people saw this cloth, let me give it to the girls back there. When people saw this cloth,
Whoa. Giraffe.
they thought,
Jurassic.
you know what they thought? Here, pass it back up. They thought they have never seen, where did this come from? And nobody knew. Pass it on back up, please. Nobody knew where this came from. But I'm going to tell you where it came from. Check this out. The Chinese found a way to take that cocoon. See that cocoon right there?
Yes.
They'd put it in boiling water. It would kill the worm inside. And then the threads, they would unwind the thread from the cocoon. And they would unwind it. That's all been spun around. And they'd make thread out of it. So this silk right here, this silk that you see, these little bitty threads,
Yes.
like right here, all came from the cocoon of that worm. And then they were dyed and wove. So, isn't that beautiful? And that came from the life cycle. Pretty amazing, I think, don't you think?
Yeah.
That silk came from this right here. So maybe, I don't think we should do it, but what if we took the cocoons apart of these and made clothes out of them?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did a pretty good investigation about butterflies and life cycles. You have your round plate right there. Now let's go ahead and right at the top of it, butterfly life cycle, and then put your name at the bottom of it. And I'll probably go fast, so put your name there. Ready? And then I want you to do this, okay? Draw a line like this, and a line like this. Go ahead, try that.
Can I set up here?
Okay, so we're going to call this stage 1, 2, 3, 4. Stage 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and write that. And what is the first stage? Yes. Egg. And so I'm going to write the word egg out here like this. Egg. And what you might want to do is, if you have a green crayon, I want you, where should that egg be on?
A leaf.
A leaf. Go ahead and draw a leaf in there. And I don't care what color you want to put the egg. Draw a leaf. What color should I put it? Red, black, blue? What do you think?
Red. Blue.
Okay. I'm going to put my egg right there. There's my egg. Go ahead and do that.
I'm not sure I'm good.
After egg is the... Did you say lava? Lava! Don't be scared. scary if out of an egg came lava. No, larva. Write it over here. L-A-R-V-A. And I'm going to put that on a leaf again. I'm going to draw a big leaf. But this leaf, I'm going to put holes in it, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to put holes in this leaf and bite marks out of it because...
Yeah. Because the caterpillar is eating all of it.
Yeah, he's eating it all up. Go ahead. On stage 2, write the word larva. Even better.
This is the caterpillar.
Next comes after the egg, larva, stage 3 is the...
Cocoon.
Then I'm going to use the word pupa. Pupa. And that's usually on a stick. So I'm going to take a... I'm going to make a stick hanging like this. Okay? Because they usually hide somewhere for protection. So there's my stick and my pupa. Go ahead and make yours. Stage 4
It's the adult butterfly.
is the adult. So let's go ahead and write adult, A-D-U-L-T. Now I'm going to write something that might be new to you. Ready? After I write adult, before we can get an egg, I'm going to make this symbol right here. This symbol stands for a female, and this symbol stands for a male. Because you need a male and a female in order for the egg. Got that? So I'm going to write my arrows from adult to egg, from egg to larva, from larva to what? Pupa, and from pupa to adult. The life cycle. Let me see yours. Yes, right here. The other one is female. Okay, so this is a nice job you did on this. What's this?
The egg,
And this?
larva,
And this?
pupa,
And
the adult.
adult. So I brought, remember I told you we were going to make a model, right? So I brought some crazy pasta pieces. And there's 4 different pieces here. Which one of all these, and I'm not going to tell you which one goes where, but I got some glue we'll put down here, right? And so if I put this little dab of glue, which one of these things here do you think would be good for an egg?
Corey, don't tell me.
Which one? What do you guys think?
I think
With
the stars.
this one?
No.
The little star. Yes.
The little star?
Yes.
This one?
No.
Or this one?
No.
Why? What?
The little
star? Go ahead and take that little
not the little star.
little star. And I don't care if you put it, go ahead, where are you going to put it? Right in the glue? Go ahead. You know, we can put a couple of them in on there because they're little, right? So there's the egg. All right, what's next? Which one do you think looks like a larva that crawls around eating?
This one.
That one? Okay, I'm going to put some glue down. Go ahead and put that right there. That looks like a larva, doesn't it? Yeah? So which one looks like a pupa where it curls? Oh, that one? Okay, I'm going to put that down. Go ahead and stick that right there. This girl's good. And that leaves the adult. Which one looks like an adult?
Oh.
You think?
It's like a butterfly.
It looks like a butterfly.
You're killing me. Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Not butterfly.
Look at you. Here is a model. Say it, class.
Adult.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
This is a big kid. Can I just come back in? You're done?
Or you can get back here.
Good job, guys. Check this out. This is your larva of your painted lady butterflies, and they're eating and eating and eating.
Which one? Oh, they're turning into.
Yeah.
They're larvae right now, and they should be
They're turning
moving.
into. They're turning. Oh my gosh! They're turning into chrysalis.
Not yet, because they have to grow a lot bigger. So you're going to get a cup, and we're going to divide them up with their food,
Yes. You're right. Come on.
and then we'll see all the different stages.
Where's his mom?
We have learned a lot about the life cycle of a butterfly. Now we're going to get to watch it happen. We have the larva here. We're going to watch them turn into the pupa stage. Then they'll come out as a butterfly. We'll put them in the cage here, and then we're going to release them so that the life cycle can continue.
And we have butterfly experts right here.